I stand in opposition with you to an administration that closes libraries and cuts programs at community centers, programs that keeps our kids off the streets and gives them hope to a better future. I stand in opposition with you to an administration that wants to reduce taxes in Rosedale while imposing user fees on residents of Jane and Finch, Cabbagetown, and Scarborough. A city that actually charges children how to learn how to swim. And I stand with you in total opposition to the Ford plan to privatize everything that isn't nailed down. Those are their words, not mine. The Fords and their spineless minions plan to turn our high-quality public services over to profit-hungry corporations that will turn decent jobs, that will allow you to raise a family, into insecure, poverty-level jobs that will offer no hope for the next generation. I grew up in a poor single-parent family where my mom sometimes had to choose between paying the rent and feeding her kids. But thankfully, I grew up in a city where there were community centers where kids could go to stay off of the streets and out of trouble, and they weren't charged for that. I grew up in a city that taught kids like me to swim for free, not for a user fee that my mom couldn't afford. I grew up in a city that built libraries to keep up with the growing population instead of closing them and cutting back staff. I grew up in a city that provided an affordable transit system that was the envy of the world, with bus drivers who often looked the other way when my mom, who was obviously one of the working poor, nervously dropped into the fare box a handful of small change that she had scrapped together to hopefully get herself to work and her kids to school. And I grew up in a city that valued public services and offered decent jobs to those who dedicated their lives and their careers to providing these services. That city that I grew up in was Toronto. A city where a poor kid from Cabbagetown had a chance to make something of his life because there were quality public services provided by dedicated public workers. Public workers who were not focused on how much money they could make off of me and my family, but how much they could help me enjoy my childhood and to grow up to realize my potential as a member of our great community and our great city. I want that city back. And there is no reason on earth why we can't take it back. If we work together, stand together, and most importantly, fight together to oppose those who do not know what made Toronto so great. And even if they do understand, who don't care. Thank you for all for coming. Let's take our city back, and let's stand together, brothers and sisters, ladies and gentlemen. Let's take Toronto back and make it the great city that it has been for decades. Thank you.
Students and workers under attack. What do we do? Stand up, fight back. Students and workers under attack. What do we do?
Stand up, fight back.
Students and workers under attack. What do we do?
Stand up, fight back.
Students and workers under attack. What do we do?
Stand up, fight back.
Students and workers under attack. What do we do?
Stand up, fight back.
Sisters, brothers, my name is Krishna Saravanamuttu, and I bring greetings to you on behalf of the over 300,000 members of the Canadian Federation of Students Ontario. I grew up in the east end of the city in Scarborough, and today I live, I work, and I study in the West End in Jane and Finch. I am here today seeking respect for the tens of thousands of post-secondary students across our city that rely upon public transit. I am here today demanding genuine consultation from City Hall when they are making decisions that deny thousands of students affordable and accessible public transit. Affordable and accessible public transit, my sisters and brothers, is not merely an issue of convenience. It is an issue of social and economic justice. It is a matter of equity. I, like thousands of other university and college students across the GTA, am tied down by the chains of poverty. Today, 70% of all jobs require a university or college education, but we are forced to pay some of the highest tuition fees and graduate with the highest debt levels in Canadian history, and to this I say shame. Students and workers across Toronto rely upon public transit. Students rely upon public transit to get to school. We rely upon public transit to get to the 2 to 3 part-time jobs we must work to pay our tuition fees. We rely upon public transit to meet our family commitments and to get home. We are commuter students who come from every corner of this city, from the east to the west, across the GTA. Thousands of students like me pack the 36 Finch West every day to get to school. The fact of the matter is that 46,000 people use the Finch bus every single day. The Finch route is one of the most congested and crowded routes in Toronto. Last year there was a plan. There was a plan to build fast, reliable public transit, light rail transit along Finch West to replace the busiest bus route in Toronto. That promise has been threatened by Mayor Ford. That is not. Shame indeed. That is not what I call democracy. This is what democracy looks like. That is what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. That is what democracy looks like. This 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 is what democracy looks like.
That is what democracy looks like.
That is an insult to thousands of tax-paying, cash-strapped students who must ride the overcrowded Finch bus. In the winter months, our $1 million mayor isn't the one with us on the streets in -10 weather, waiting with dozens upon dozens of students who are trying to get onto a bus that is already extremely crowded. And to that I say shame. Sisters and brothers, that is disrespect. We are here today for respect. But the insult does not stop there. The mayor's new plan denies thousands of students in Scarborough access to build light rail transit out to Malvern and the University of Toronto Scarborough campus. Now they have nothing, now we have nothing. That is disrespect. We are here for respect. Despite the public outcry, students, workers, and community members were ignored when cuts to 41 bus routes were passed. To that, I say shame. Scarborough residents already feel isolated from the rest of the city, and students who are work those 2 to 3 jobs to get to school to pay their tuition will be denied access yet again. That is disrespect. We are here for respect. In each and every single one of these cases, we have been ignored and our voices lost. These decisions impact tens of thousands of the most marginalized and vulnerable people in our city. Even though Ford promised to seek our feedback. In the 4 months of Mayor Ford's term, he has ignored us and he has deceived us. That is disrespect. We are here for respect. So my sisters and brothers, put your flags proudly up in the air. Put your fists in the air. We are going to take over these streets. We want consultation, not deception. 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 Consultation. much, sisters and brothers.